Hi, everybody. My name is Ian Lamont. I'm the author of Personal Finance for Beginners in 30 Minutes, Volumes 1 and 2. Today, I'm going to be talking about pay stubs and all those abbreviations that you see on them and what they generally mean. A quick disclaimer, your experience may be very different than what I'm going to show you in this video. If you need professional advice, you should really seek out someone who knows about this stuff, such as a tax lawyer or a planner or an accountant. And there's also another disclaimer at the bottom. But basically, here's the type of situation that many people deal with every 2 weeks or every month when they get their paycheck. They'll get a document like this. This is from the California State Labor Commission. And it'll have all this information on there with these strange abbreviations. You may be wondering, what does everything mean? And I'm just going to go through them pretty quickly so you can understand. Pay rate is how much you're getting paid per hour. They don't have a dollar sign, but basically that's $18 for regular pay rate and $27 for overtime. And overtime is typically paid when you work more than 40 hours per week, and they'll give you a bonus extra payment on top of what your regular pay is. In this case, it's 50%. Oftentimes you'll hear the phrase time and a half. So overtime rate is time and a half. That's your regular rate plus 50%. Pay period, typically it's every week or every 2 weeks for many companies. For my own company, I get paid every month. So your earnings, it's split out into regular earnings. So you can see the hours, $40, and then the amount is 40 times 18, which equals $720. And you can see this person also worked for 2 hours overtime. So 2 times $27, that's the overtime pay rate. That equals $54. So that the total pay for the week, the gross earnings is right below that. It's $774. Now let's go to the deductions, because this is what trips up a lot of people, and you see these strange abbreviations. You may not know what they mean. And actually, I didn't know what some of them meant until one of my authors wrote a book about Social Security, and then we had to get into what all these different things mean. But basically, federal WH, or sometimes it'll say federal income tax, it's the withholding for your federal taxes. So everybody has to pay, or most people have to pay federal tax on their wages or their salary. And instead of waiting till the end of the year to find out how much you owe, most companies, they arrange for you to have money withheld and just sent directly to the IRS every pay period, so you don't have to deal with that later on. And if you overpay, you'll get some of that back. Later on, we'll see the state amount. FICA, or FICA, this stands for Federal Insurance Contributions Act, and this basically means Social Security. Social Security is 6.2% of your own salary, and then your employer also throws in 6.2% into the Social Security fund. So this particular person, 6.2% of that is about $48. That goes to Social Security. So you're paying that money from your wages, but your company is also going to match that. They're going to pay $48 as well. Medicare, that's also a well-known program for people who may not be able to. They need some sort of health insurance. So you pay money into the Medicare fund. It's 1.45% of your paycheck that you put in there. CA state WH, that means California state withholding. So that's California state income tax. It's a lower rate than the federal rate. So it's $10 per pay period. California State DI, I think this means disability insurance. So some employers, they may require you to pay for disability insurance, or you may opt to pay for disability insurance. And in a second, we're going to take a look at some other types of insurance that you might have deducted there. I'm losing my arrows there. And then finally, the 401k. So this is a workplace retirement account. You can tell your employer how much you want to contribute from your regular weekly pay to go into a retirement account. It's managed by a third, like a financial services company or a bank, and then you can tell them what to invest the money in. And then when you retire many years later, you'll be able to get that back plus the earnings of whatever it was invested in. So this person has $77.40 taken out. That's basically 10% of his earnings go to his 401k. So you may see some other terms, and actually this picture here on the right, that's from UCLA, the different types of pay stub codes you might see, and there's literally more than 100 different codes that they have there for different types of scenarios, ranging from overtime to stipends to executive incentive awards to whatever. The list on the left, I think, is more common for what people might see. For instance, in some states, they have paid family and medical leave. That's a line item on your pay stub, and usually, for my state, it's a couple dollars every pay period. Life insurance, this is something that you can optionally pay for. It's usually very inexpensive. Um, that's in addition to disability insurance, which we just saw in the pay stub. Medical, vision, and dental care, those may be listed out on your on your pay stub if you are having your employer uh, pay for that. And many people do that. In my particular case, I don't, because my spouse, she has it taken out from her pay stub, so she'll have those line items on her pay stub, but I won't. Training, sometimes this is called FTO. That's a different pay rate than the regular pay rate. Maybe if you just get started. Health spending accounts or flexible spending accounts, they'll be called HSAs or FSAs. This is related to health expenses, additional health expenses not covered by health insurance, or maybe childcare expenses or summer camps or things like that, which you can use these special accounts to pay for, and there's a tax advantage to using them. Bonuses are sometimes listed on pay stubs. Child support or garnishments are also listed for some people on their pay stubs too, and that will be a deduction off of what they're usually paying. For more information on personal finance, I've written 2 books about it, Personal Finance for Beginners in 30 Minutes, Volumes 1 and 2, and also our Social Security in 30 Minutes book by Emily Pogue, Volume 1, covers retirement benefits. We talk about some of these terms as well. For more information, please go to in30minutes.com to check out the books. My name is Ian Lamont. Thank you so much for watching.